Hi and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave and this is episode 1810B and today's date is March 8th, 2019 and the title of the episode is It's Happening, Senate Activated, Update to Countdown. Now, before I get started, I wanted to talk about the deep state. We know they continually push their goals, and we know there is a threat of this new caravan which is amassing in Central America, and it's headed up to our border. And the deep state, we know that they try every trick in the book to scare the American people. They might even black out social media. They might black out cities to get their point across. And one of the best things you can invest in for your home and for your protection is a Patriot flashlight. Now, this flashlight is solar powered, so you're never going to waste money on batteries again. It is very powerful. It's 500 lumens. You can see miles away. It has emergency strobe light. It has a USB port so you can charge your phone. It has a compass, rope, wire cutter. It even has a glass breaking hammer and a siren to ward off individuals. Patriot flashlight is the perfect gift for you and your family. Limited supply lasts, and this is the very last chance to get yours at a discount before they sell out. Take advantage now and give yourself the gift of protection. Go to patriotflashlight.com, use the promo code X20 and get 20% off the Patriot flashlight. Let's get into the economic collapse, political and geopolitical news. Now, it looks like the countdown is continuing. The Senate has been activated, and it's really happening. We'll be getting into that in just a minute. But first, let's start off with Paul Manafort. He's been sentenced to 47 months in prison. The judge said he believed the recommended sentence of 19 to 24 years would be excessive. I believe that would be a little excessive for Paul Manafort. Trump tweeted out the following: both the judge and the lawyer in the Paul Manafort case stated loudly and for the world to hear that there was no collusion with Russia. But the witch hunt hoax continues as you now add these statements to House and Senate intelligence and Senate Burr. So bad for our country. Trump then responded to Michael Cohen's testimony that he never asked for a pardon. He tweeted, "Bad lawyer and fraudster Michael Cohen said under sworn testimony that he never asked for a pardon. His lawyers totally contradicted him. He lied. Additionally, he directly asked me for a pardon. I said no. He lied again. He also badly wanted to work at the White House. He lied." And you can see right now, they're just using Cohen right now as a public figure to push out the reason why they should have all these investigations. And they're saying, oh, because of what we got from Cohen, this is why we're having these type of investigations. But it's all made up. Cohen spent like 10 hours with Schiff. Do you think they were coaching him on what to say? Absolutely. But don't worry. This is all part of the plan. Let the deep state, let the Dems do what they do best. Throw everything they have into the pot. Use your ammunition, go ahead. Because remember, they think they hold all the cards. They think Trump's hands, the Patriot hands, is weak. But it's actually the opposite. Trump, the Patriots have the royal flush. They're pretending they have nothing. The deep state, the Dems, they're pretending they have a great hand. They only have three of a kind. And Trump and the Patriots, they're waiting for them to throw everything into the pot before they use the Trump card, before they throw down their hand. Now, Judicial Watch, they have received documents from a previous Freedom of Information request to the Department of Justice, which highlights the extent of the communication between the Department of Justice office, Bruce Orr, and the FBI. While there was prior knowledge of this role of Orr as an FBI intermediary between Fusion GPS, Chris Steele, and the FBI during the original counterintelligence investigation, the new documents show Orr continued in his role well into Mueller's appointment. In essence, after the FBI claimed to have broken off formal use of Christopher Steele, and long after Robert Mueller took over the investigation, Orr remained as an intermediary between Chris Steele and Mueller's special counsel team. Now, this begs the question. If the special counsel was simply investigating the truth of the dossier, Why would Robert Mueller want an intermediary as opposed to directly being in contact with him and questioning the dossier author directly? I mean, think about that for a second. Very interesting. So Judicial Watch, they have about 339 pages of heavily redacted records from the U.S. Department of Justice, which reveal that Orr remained in regular contact with British spy and Fusion GPS contractor Christopher Steele. So once again, Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton, is gathering all this information, and they have it all. Now remember, the dossier, that was the primary evidence for the entire corrupt investigative enterprise. The dossier is the linchpin of evidence that validated the Title I Visor warrant, which was used against Carter Page and all campaign officials therein. As a direct result of the origination, Mueller's later mandate from Rosenstein is based on that dossier. As a result, inside that in that dynamic, there is a motive for Mueller's team to stay away from discovering anything that might invalidate that dossier. Think about it for a second. Why do you think Jerry Nadler, Mueller, and the rest, why do you think they went after it? Why don't you think they even mentioned it? Actually, look at Jerry Nadler, the House Judiciary Chairman. Do you notice Christopher Steele or any of the other names on the list? They're not appearing on the list. Do you see Glenn Simpson or anything? None of their names appear because they know it's fake. Because if they have them subpoenaed, the whole thing completely unravels. So they're never going to touch it. Judicial Watch tweeted out, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton, these smoking gun documents show that Steele, a Hillary Clinton operative, an anti-Trump foreign national, secretly worked hand in glove with the Department of Justice on its illicit targeting of president. And we can see that every single day, hard evidence comes out against the dossier, against Orr, against everything they tried to do. This is real documented evidence compared to the propaganda about what? Russian collusion. The propaganda that the House Judiciary Committee is going after. The propaganda that the mainstream media puts out there. Undercover Huber tweeted out the following, and this is not John Huber, it's someone who's using the name Undercover Huber, tweeted out the following. Manafort, no collusion. Flynn, no collusion. Gates, no collusion. Cohen, no collusion. Pinetto, no collusion. Stone, no collusion. Zwan, no collusion. Butina, no collusion. Page, no collusion. GRU hackers, no collusion. Facebook Russians, no collusion. Papadopoulos, no collusion. Media, collusion. Think about this for a second. The Senate came out and said there was no collusion. The House came out and said there's no collusion. The Mueller report is going to come out and say no collusion. But the mainstream media said collusion. Again, propaganda. Now, Democrats, they voted to give illegal immigrants the right to vote. This is H.R. 1. And they defended their vote, saying that we need to give immigrants the right to vote. Texas Republican Representative Dan Crenshaw said, "It sounds like I'm making it up. What kind of government would cancel the vote of its own citizenship and replace it with a non-citizen?" Nancy Pelosi said the following, "Immigrants make America more American, and we should not be suppressing the vote of our newcomers to America." Now, they did two things. First, they didn't say illegal immigrants. She used the word immigrants. Yes, immigrants that go through the proper channels to enter the country make America more American. And she also started calling them newcomers to America. So they're changing the terms to make it not sound so bad. They're calling them just immigrants, and now they're going to be calling them newcomers. So Donald Trump Jr. tweeted out the following, and there it is, folks. what we all knew but no one would say. It's only about votes for Democrats. Think about what they really want. They want illegals who come into the country illegally, who jump over the border. They want them to vote. Now, think about the ramifications of this. Let's just turn this around for a second. Let's say there's a group or an individual that decided to pay Russians to come over the border. 1 million of them. 1 million Russians, because we know from the amount of illegals that are here, there's about 3 million. Let's just say 1 million Russians. They came over the border illegally. They were shipped off to the sanctuary cities. These individuals, who are not citizens of the United States, could change who becomes the leader of the country. Individuals that are not citizens who were paid to come into this country can change the outcome of an election. Think about that for a second. Let's not even say they're Russians. Let's say very wealthy individuals. And remember, they want the popular count. They don't want the electoral college. Let's say they have, and we know they have billions and billions of dollars, these wealthy individuals. They pay 1, 2, 3 million people to make a push into this country. And they tell them, listen, we'll give you a better life if you do what we say, if you vote the way we want. They can change the outcome of any election. And they have no allegiance to this country. They have absolutely nothing. What does that tell you? It tells you that they're trying to manipulate the vote, because they're trying to push this H.R. 1 bill to allow anyone into this country to sway the vote in any way they want. And this is why Q in Post 2855 said the following: they will stop at nothing to regain power. Time to adopt voter ID law. And this is something they fought against and still fighting against, because they know once that's in place, they can't move the election in the direction they want. The deep state, they're in a total panic. They're trying to figure out a way to get back in power. I mean, Eric Holder is out there, and listen to what he's saying. He said, the next Democratic president should seriously consider adding additional seats to the United States Supreme Court should they be elected alongside a Democratic majority in the Senate. Why would he say that? Because who has the power right now? They lost their power in the Supreme Court. This is what they use to push their laws. And actually, remember, Q has been telling us, and we knew this for a very long time, the CIA blackmails and spies on all these individuals. They capture their conversations, their emails, their texts on all their devices. And they use this against them to push them into what they want them to do. So once again, you can see they're very worried about what is happening. This is why they're passing this bill. It's only in the House. Remember, the Senate was the key. It's not going to get past the Senate. But once again, I bring this up. Where is Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Has anyone seen her? Any new sightings? No word. The last vote, it seems like her vote was kind of missing. Now, Trump is out there and he's saying that the wall is ahead of schedule, despite everything the deep state is trying to do. And he says the planned border wall along the U.S.-Mexico border was already under construction and claimed that the project would be completed. He tweeted out the following: the wall is being built and is well under construction. Big impact will be made. Many additional contracts are close to being signed, far ahead of schedule despite all the Democratic obstruction and fake news. And yesterday we talked about how he has enough money to build something like 455 miles of the wall before he even needs the national emergency money. So that's a lot of wall before he even gets to the other money. So he'll be building for quite a while. And by the time he's almost completed with the wall, he'll be getting that money from the national emergency, and there will be a wall. We see out in Venezuela, there was a power outage within the country, and we've seen this before. This is the script the deep state uses, the neocons use. Remember Syria? Every time the deep state, they want to push their agenda, they want to make the people suffer, they shut down the electric. And it's for specific reasons. They cut the power, they make people suffer, and they try to get people to rise up against the existing government. And they also bring in weapons, they do other things, because remember, when the power goes out, a lot of the monitoring, a lot of what's going on is shut down. And Maduro was out there saying, yes, this was sabotage, our system was brought down, and you know that the neocons, the deep state, they play dirty when they're trying to have regime change. And I still believe Trump, the Patriots, they're allowing the deep state to do what they do best. They're recording, they're watching, they're gathering evidence in what they do. Right now, Trump has his envoy saying the following, that the U.S. won't use force to deliver aid to Venezuela. And once again, you can see Trump is saying and stating that force will not be used. Remember, Trump wants peace. This is why he's pushing peace in Afghanistan, withdrawing the troops from Syria, and having peace talks with North Korea. And once again, he allows the deep state, he allows the mainstream media, the neocons, to play whatever game they're playing, and then turns it around on these individuals. He has a completely different mission, but he makes them believe they're the ones who have the power. It is done on purpose. We see right now that the Turkish military is preparing to reopen and oversee the opposition-held part of the strategic Damascus-Aleppo highway as part of a Russia-Turkish agreement. And you can see right now that Russia, they are in complete control of Turkey, complete control of Erdogan. Putin is dictating to Turkey in what they should do. And we know that Turkey wanted a safe zone. Everyone was talking about an invasion into Syria. And guess what? Putin said, no way. You're not doing that. There's going to be no safe zone, and there's going to be no invasion. And I know the mainstream media is continually pushing out there, oh, that there's going to be a safe zone. There is no safe zone. This has been their dream for a very long time, to separate Syria, to have the Alawites, to have the Kurds, to have the Shiite, to have the Sunni, and split up the Middle East. This plan that they were trying to push has gone down the drain. Let's get into Q's posts. I want to go back to post 2986, and this is the picture of the president's pen and another silver pen that was on a piece of paper. And what's very interesting is that the file name is called image45exe.png. 45 is the president, and when you look at the reflection in the pen and you zoom in, it looks like there's an individual wearing a dark jacket, yellow tie, and it kind of looks like the president in the picture. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, how is he in this pen? How is the reflection like this? He would have been laying down to get this view. Well, not necessarily, because I took a silver pen and I put it on the desk, and if you lean over the desk, the image turns and it kind of looks like this. So this could be a picture of the president. Let's move on to post 2998. Now, an Anon says he or she, I don't know if it's a he or she, found what the keystone really is. And the Anon says kecking. Now, kecking is laugh out loud, and I believe this is Warcraft. When you type in LOL, it comes out as kek, K-E-K. So kecking is laughing out loud right now. This is what the Anon says. Pretty sure I found something. Rip me apart if I'm wrong, though. So many shills on here, you're missing crumbs. Look here, not there. Responding to post 2996, Q says, how is that possible for a supposed non-government entity? How is it possible that Facebook tracks data even when the app is deleted? In post 2993, March 7th, 2019, Q is calling out at Snowden. So I used the filter to find posts relating to WikiLeaks. Q post from July 31st, 2018 is a screenshot of the WikiLeaks Vault 7 released March 7th. And what's very interesting is that Q posted this on March 7th of 2019, and WikiLeaks came out on March 7th, a couple years back. Sounds confusing? Just trying to show you my thought process. Stay with me, it makes sense. Unlike bullets, bombs, or missiles, most CIA malware is designed to live for days or even years after it has reached its target. CIA malware does not explode on impact, but rather permanently infests its target. In order to infect target's device, copies of the malware must be placed on the target's devices, giving physical possession of the malware to the target. To exfiltrate data back to the CIA or to await further instructions, the malware must communicate with the CIA command and control C2 systems placed on internet-connected servers. But such servers are typically not approved to hold classified information, so CIA command and control systems are also made unclassified from Vault 7. Links below that direct you to user forums on how not to leave digital fingerprints that can be associated with the CIA and how to construct an imitation fingerprint. Using Facebook as their fingerprint, they are able to install malware on people's phones, tablets, and computers, which relay all data back to a central server using Hive. I suggest all admins who have given up life to research this shit like me should read this document to completion. I noticed the enormous amount of comparisons between packets of data and bombs. Don't know why, probably just autistic. I looked back in the Q map, and on March 5th, 2019, an admin posted how London police call them bombs, not suspicious packages. Q responds in 2974 with fire. I went into Vault 7 project search for fire. Angel fire is an important comprised of 5 components: Solar Time, Wolf Creek, Keystone, previously Magic Wand, Bad MFS, and the Windows Transitory File System. Keystone, laugh out loud. Keystone, he said, keck. Keystone is part of the Wolf Creek implant and responsible for starting malicious users' applications. Loaded implants never touch the file system, so there is very little forensic evidence that the process was ever ran. This makes post Q381 much easier to understand. We won't telegraph our moves to the enemy. We will, however, light a fire to flush them out, saying that they're using angel fire against them. They're using their own malware to see and to predict what the CIA is about to do. This is why Q continually says we won't telegraph our moves to the enemy. They're actually predicting what they're going to do from the data they're receiving from Angel Fire. Q is saying that they're using Angel File to predict the deep state's move without being detected. In the user files, it says a key must be used to open Magic Wand Keystone. In Q Post 270, he says the ADM, R, NSA, and POTUS U.S. military equals apply the keystone. Paint the picture. In Post 167, Q says POTUS open the door of all doors. Expand your thinking. What is the keystone? Now, this could be confirmation bias, but based off what we just read, we can now infer that Q was saying Trump gave Admiral Rogers permission to use Keystone and activate malware on all devices in order to collect data on the deep state. Furthermore, who uses a magic wand? A wizard. Wow. Boom. Q says, something you should explore further. Impressive. Most impressive. And it seems like this admin completely figured it out. So Q and the Patriots are using the CIA weapons against themselves. This is unbelievable. Let's move on to Post 2999. This is a tweet from Senator Blumenthal. It says, why is the Department of Homeland Security reportedly building secret dossiers on journalists and immigration lawyers? Apparent profiling mirrors the behavior of autocrats. I'll be demanding answers. Now, it looks like, and this is coming from the article that was in the tweet by Senator Blumenthal, leaked documents show the U.S. government tracking journalists and immigration advocates through a secret database. The documents detail an intelligence gathering effort by the United States and Mexican authorities targeting more than 50 people, including journalists, an attorney, and immigration advocates. So it looks like something is happening down at the border. Q says, glimpse of something much bigger to come. I wonder if Q and the Patriots might be behind this, or something else is going on. So the documents were provided to NBC by Homeland Security source on the condition of anonymity. So Q says actions have consequences. Remember, it goes both ways. Nobody is safe. The leak was plugged. So it seems that the Patriots have been keeping tabs on certain individuals and keeping dossiers on them. These people are working against our country alone or with foreign entities. Let's look at post 2165 because Q says, remember, it goes both ways. So what did Q say in post 2165? FISA goes both ways. So they're monitoring these individuals because they're up to no good. You think these reporters, you think these individuals are helping illegal immigrants get into the country, or maybe something even bigger than that? Well, we're going to find out very soon. Let's move on to post 3000. Q put up a Twitter link. It's David Miller 91. And the tweet says, it's happening. Barr is meeting with Huber and OIG. So it looks like they are meeting each other. And the tweet here from the U.S. Attorney of Utah says, U.S. Attorney John Huber, who serves as Vice Chair of the Attorney General's Advisory Committee, met with the new AG William Barr this week in Washington, D.C. Under this, it says, keep the calendar up to date, Patriot. Check off and log. Future proves past. Now, in a previous post, Q has told us that Barr is going to meet Huber and OIG, and here it is. Post 3001. Q gives us the post 2444. And in this post, it says the following. We got what we needed. Thank you, Patriots. Senate means everything. Think judges, Supreme Court, and Cabinet. D-Class overrides all potential House blockades. POTUS has ultimate authority. Shift to Senate judiciary oversight from House to now occur. Stronger position held in reserve for this scenario. Lower chamber House used as a 2-year starter. Upper chamber Senate will be used next 2-year closer. Military planned. No impact. Ongoing investigation. Team is stronger. So under this, there's a scribd.com document. And basically what this is a letter from Senate Judiciary Chair Lindsey Graham. He wrote a letter to William Barr. He's requesting all docs shared with the intel orgs regarding the Russia investigation and Carter Page FISA application. He wants it delivered to him by March 21st. The Senate has been activated. Graham has been activated. Everything moves from the House to the Senate. Remember what's going on in the House right now. They're having these ridiculous investigations where there is no crime, and they're just going in all different directions. Where are the real investigations? They are now in the Senate, and they have been activated. Barr has met with Huber and Michael Horowitz. They all know what's going on. They're on the same page. Barr has been filled in on everything. Post 3002. This is a picture of an individual in front of a sign, and it looks like Persian writing. And this looks like this is a picture from Iran, and it says, we stand together in this fight. Where we go one, we go all. Post 3001 gives us a link to Bing. This is a search on Facebook, and it comes up that Facebook, they are, now going to protect your privacy. They're going to get rid of all those people that are talking about anti-vaccines, and they're doing many other things. Looks like Facebook is trying to get ahead of everything here, and I don't think it's going to work. So this Annan on the boards put up this graphic, and it says, and this is from May 10, 2018, Facebook is listening to you 24/7, 365, literally. And then on April 9th, 2018, with an arrow, says class action lawsuits are very effective. 2 billion people, global scale, regulation or kill. People have the power to decide. Then the arrow brings us down to another one, which is April 9th, 2018. Not mine, no Facebook. Again, the arrow brings us down to you are being tracked. No Facebook account required. Q has just told us that you don't need a Facebook account. There is malware on everyone's device, and each one of these different social media platforms, they have the ability to retrieve all information. The CIA, these outfits, they have access to everything on your phone, on your computer, you name it. Then this individual, this Annan, highlights a section in an article, and it says Facebook is facing a class action lawsuit following the revelation that the company logged users' texts and call logs using the Facebook smartphone app. Facebook is listening to you 24/7, 365. Q. Facebook is in trouble. Facebook is gathering information, and it's not for advertisers. That was the cover story. Google does the same exact thing. So Q ended up the post with parts 3 of 9 coming soon. Q is letting us know that they're going to be revealing a lot more. Who, what, where, and how the CIA and Facebook and Google, how they have the ability to control, influence our lives and everything else. And it looks like Q is giving all the information because all these companies, there are lawsuits that are pending, and people are pointing the finger at these different companies, and Q is filling us in on what is really going on. And you can see from everything that has been happening, it's all falling apart around the deep state. We know all. We have it all. The Senate has been activated. The investigations are moving forward. Trump is not going to play his hand yet. He wants everything in the pot. And once they have everything, and the deep state, they have nothing left to give, and they still believe they have the better hand, this is when he's going to throw it down. This is when he's going to throw down the Trump card, the royal flush, whatever you want to call it. And they're not going to know what to do. They're going to be scattering like the rats they are. So if you're feeling like nothing is happening, there are so many things happening. Remember, this is military planning, one piece at a time, trapping these individuals in their lives. Think about what has been happening right now. They're starting to contradict themselves. The mainstream media looks foolish. All these individuals that talked about Russian collusion look foolish right now. Think about what is happening. You have to discredit all these individuals before you play your hand. It makes it so much easier. And people, as time goes on, they're starting to realize it. There's never been Russian collusion. They made this up. Actually, what are they doing right now? Why do they have these investigations? There is no crime. What is really going on? Who's really involved here? Why are all these people fired or resigning right now? Why are we getting real documentation and evidence that these people committed a crime? Think about it. Why are all these people that have been brought up on charges by Mueller, why is there no Russian collusion? When Mueller's report comes out, well, this is going to be the linchpin. I mean, they're going to play it up in the beginning. But once that comes out, and that says there's no Russian collusion, because remember, Barr is going to keep the scope of the document to Russian collusion, everyone who pushed Russian collusion is going to look like a fool. Who's going to trust them anymore? Not many. Many people are going to move away from them. And this is exactly what they wanted. So get ready, because it's happening. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.